First at 9 this Monday, the 17th of March 2025. Dismissed. IGP Deshabandhu Tennakoon's writ petition to suspend arrest order dismissed without consideration. Let the games begin. Acceptance of nominations for local government elections commences. Strikes continue. Postal trade unions continue strike action. Health professionals to follow suit with strikes of their own tomorrow.
Chilo Dairy, Sri Lankawama, Kiren Perata. ඔබේ විශ්වාසය දිනු සෙන්සුරයින් දැන් ළඟම ඇති ෆාමසියෙන් ලබාගත හැක.
කට්ට පරිස්සම් කරගත්තොත් අපි පරිස්සම්.
ඉතින් මොකටද නිකන් නාගන්නේ? ස්වදේශී කොහොඹ ලෙමන් ග්‍රාස් අද කාලෙට ෆ්‍රෙෂ්ම විසඳුම.
From Derana, this is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9, brought to you by Sri Lanka's most trusted news source, Derana. I'm Tarindu Mahendra, joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world. In your top story tonight, the Court of Appeal today dismissed without consideration the writ petition filed by Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakoon seeking an interim injunction suspending the order by the Matara Magistrates Court to arrest him. The Court of Appeal bench ordered the Criminal Investigation Department to immediately apprehend the IGP and produce him before court. The court also ordered the Matara Magistrates Court to investigate and take legal action against the individuals who aided IGP Tennakoon conceal himself and evade court. The Matara Magistrates Court on the 27th of February ordered the arrest of 7 police officers, including then Acting Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakoon, in connection with the death of a police sergeant of the Colombo Crime Division during a shooting near a hotel in Waligama, Matara in 2023. Despite 18 days passing since the issuance of the order, police have been unable to apprehend IGP Tennakoon. Meanwhile, Deshabandhu Tennakoon filed a writ petition with the Court of Appeal seeking an interim injunction to suspend the arrest warrant against him, and the Court of Appeal, which considered the petition on the 12th of March, stated that it will announce its decision today. However, when proceedings commenced today, President's Counsel Ramesh De Silva, who presented a motion on behalf of Deshabandhu Tennakoon, requested that the announcement of the decision on the writ petition be postponed. The President's Counsel pointed out that it was revealed during the last hearing that a copy of the complete record of the proceedings before the Matara Magistrates Court related to this matter had not been filed with the Court of Appeal. He added that the petitioning party has applied for a copy of the complete record from the Matara Magistrates Court and requested the Court of Appeal to issue its decision on the writ petition after considering the facts of the complete court record. However, Additional Solicitor General Dileepa Pires, who appeared on behalf of the respondents, strongly objected to the request, stating that the petitioner has been in hiding since the 28th of February, contrary to court orders, and claimed that the motion was submitted this morning with the ulterior motive of postponing the verdict. Subsequently, President's Counsel Ramesh De Silva, presenting a statement issued by the Police Media Division yesterday, stated that the Attorney General has given an undertaking before the Court of Appeal that the other suspects connected with the incident in question will not be arrested. However, the acting president of the Court of Appeal stated that the court had not issued an order of the kind mentioned in the 4th paragraph of the statement issued by the Police Media Division. Subsequently, the Court of Appeal denied the motion and announced its decision on the writ petition. The court, which highlighted that the petitioner is not an ordinary citizen but the country's Inspector General of Police, stated that it is of the opinion that he has acted as if he is above the law. It added that if the petitioner truly believes that he is innocent, he should not be afraid to go to court, and pointed out that his refusal to appear before court may cause public trust in law enforcement institutions to be eroded and a situation similar to the struggle to emerge. The court stated that 9 facts had been considered before reaching the verdict on the writ petition, which are the existence of a paramilitary group operating under the petitioner, the deployment of officers from the Colombo Crime Division for an illegal operation, no mention being made in police records regarding the operation, the officer in charge of the area not being informed about the operation, the illegal acquisition and use of weapons for the operation, the official mobile phones of all officers who participated in the operation being deactivated activated during the operation. The death of the injured police sergeant due to failure to provide prompt treatment, attempts to mislead the investigation and manipulate evidence, and refusal to comply with the court order issued by the Matara Magistrates Court and absconding. Finally, the court, which stated that the warrant issued by the Matara Magistrates Court to arrest the petitioner is legal, added that the argument presented by the petitioning party that the magistrate does not have the power to issue such an order under section 136(1)(1) of the Code of Criminal Procedure cannot be accepted. Accordingly, the Court of Appeal ordered the dismissal of the writ petition subject to a fee of 10,525 rupees and further ordered the Criminal Investigation Department to immediately arrest Deshabandhu Tennakon and produce him before court. Additionally, the bench ordered the Matara Magistrates Court to investigate and take legal action against the individuals who aided the petitioner conceal himself and evade court.
පිරිපුන් ජීවිතයකට ඔබ සමගින් පෙරට Union Assurance. චන්දුරුසුමේ කාගෙන් මන අපේ සිග TV සඳහා සුපිරි ඩීල්.
The acceptance of nominations for the upcoming local government elections commenced today and will continue until the 20th of March. The Election Commission stated that the local government elections will be held within 35 to 49 days from the conclusion of accepting nominations. The acceptance of nominations for 336 local government institutions for the upcoming local government elections commenced at 8:30 am today at the district election offices.
Nominations for the 2025 local government elections can be submitted to the district secretariat of all 25 districts on the 17th, 18th and the 20th of March from 8:30 am to 4:15 pm. After 12 noon on the 20th, the nomination papers submitted so far will be directed for examination. Following that, the political parties and independent groups which are eligible to contest the election will be declared.
The Election Commission noted that nominations will be accepted until 12 noon on the 20th of March. The date for the local government elections is scheduled to be announced after the acceptance of nominations concludes.
නාමයෝජනා අවසන් වී දින 35කට පසුව 49කට පෙර මෙන්න මේ කාල රාමුව තුල තියෙන දිනයක් තුල තමයි මැතිවරණය පැවැත්වීමට නියමිත වන්නේ.
The Commissioner General of Elections requests candidates to submit nominations in a manner that does not disrupt the ongoing GCE ordinary level examinations which commenced today. Accordingly, candidates of the National People's Power signed their nomination documents today at the JVP headquarters in Palavatta. Following that, the NPP submitted the nomination list for the Batticaloa district.
The National People's Power commenced the signing of nominations for the upcoming local government elections today. This is crucial for us. We intend to initiate a substantial transformation in the country within the next 5 years. It's imperative that the NPP secure power in all local government institutions in order to successfully conclude the development plans, poverty alleviation, programs and other projects of this government. We expect to appoint councillors who do not strike deals for their personal gain or interest. This election is crucial as we aim to establish local government councils which help the government in our development plans.
Meanwhile, General Secretary of the Samagi Jana Balawega, Ranjit Madhuma Bandara, submitted the SJB's nomination list for the Ratnapura district to the Election Commission today.
This time the Samagi Jana Balawega is contesting all 336 local government institutions. The public is now aware that they had been deceived by both the JVP and NPP. As a result, a majority will support the SJB in this election.
Meanwhile, the Sarvajana Bale submitted its nominations for the Colombo, Hambantota and Ampara districts today.
In just 6 months, people have understood that there is not much of a difference between the NPP and the JVP in 1976. As a result, Sarvajana Bale is the only remain hope for the people. Through this election, we will be able to witness the results of the seeds we planted during the past.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna also submitted their nominations for the Kalutara, Kurunagala and Kandy districts today.
We are running for office with the intention of winning this election. The most talented and experienced individuals will be contesting this election from our party. We have never deceived the public and we will continue to be honest with them. I wouldn't say that every word we speak is the truth. However, however, let's unite to elect public representatives to develop rural areas.
In the meantime, the United National Party also submitted their nomination list for the Colombo, Kandy and Ampara district.
A number of former councillors will be contesting the election this time. We have also given opportunity for newcomers as well. The United National Party will be contesting the local government elections under the symbol elephant.
Additionally, the Podujana Eksat Peramuna also handed over their nominations for the Badulla and Gampaha districts.
Experienced and mature members of the Podujana Eksat Peramuna and Sri Lanka Freedom Party will run for office as mature politicians are required in local government institutions. It is much easier to work with experienced individuals. Through this election, the government will pay the price for deceiving the public. On the day of the election, the deceived will teach a lesson to their deceivers. What will happen if this government was given the power of the rural areas?
Meanwhile, the acceptance of postal voting applications for the local government elections is scheduled to conclude at 12 midnight today. A 24-hour token strike will be launched tomorrow by the Federation of Health Professionals in government hospitals island-wide. Similarly, the 48-hour token strike launched by postal trade unions is expected to continue tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Government Nursing Officers Association today withdrew from service and engaged in a 3-hour token strike action.
The Government Nursing Officers Association launched a 3-hour token strike from 10 am to 1 pm today over several issues, including not being granted promotions and the reduction of salaries. In conjunction with the strike action, protests were organized in front of several government hospitals.
There has been no response regarding the reduction of the allowances. A senior nursing officer only receives 1,084 rupees daily, while a labourer is being paid around 3,500 rupees for domestic labour. We will launch trade union actions in the future, requesting a solution to the allowance issue. Due to the token strike, patients at state hospitals faced inconveniences today.
In the meantime, representatives of the Federation of Health Professionals held discussions at the Ministry of Finance today regarding their issues. However, as discussions reached a deadlock, the Federation took the decision to launch its 24-hour token strike action at 7 am tomorrow as scheduled.
We tried our best to resolve this issue technically, but we realized that their solution was not sufficient for us. The strike will end within 24 hours, and during this period, all emergency and essential services will be provided. Children's hospitals, maternity hospitals, cancer hospitals and kidney care hospitals will not participate in this strike. The National Institute of Mental Health will also remain unaffected.
Accordingly, several associations affiliated with the Joint Federation of Paramedical Professionals, including the Government Medical Laboratory Technologists Association, the Government Radiological Technologists Association, the All Ceylon Government Pharmacists Association, along with the Sri Lanka Public Health Inspectors Association, the Government Dental Technicians Association, and the Family Health Service Officers Association, which are affiliated with the Paramedical Services Joint Front, are also set to join the scheduled strike tomorrow. Meanwhile, the 48-hour token strike action launched by the postal trade unions continued today. The strike was launched over 7 issues, including filing of vacancies in the Department of Posts, approval of the Postal Service Constitution, and providing the prescribed overtime allowances. This strike was in effect at 653 post offices, 3,410 sub-post offices, and over 100 control offices across the island, including the Central Mail Exchange. However, the Postal and Telecommunication Officers Union held discussions with Minister of Health and Mass Media, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, yesterday and came to a decision to withdraw from the token strike. Accordingly, some post offices operated as usual. Against this backdrop, the United Postal Trade Unions Front announced its stance on future actions, including the token strike.
අපිට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ මේ
What we need are solutions for the issues we face. Therefore, we are prepared to end this strike at any moment if they provide us with solutions. The postal administration and the political authority must bear the responsibility for the loss that will be incurred due to the strikes.
තැපැල් පරිපාලනය සහ දේශපාලන අධිකාරිය තමයි අපිට කියන්න තියෙන්නේ.
My opinion is that conducting such a strike is not very appropriate at the moment. Typically, if a strike is conducted within the Department of Posts, we incur a daily loss of between 45 to 50 million rupees. As such, if the strike lasts for 2 days, the Department of Posts will incur significant losses.
Fast track your career from O levels with eSoft.
ඩයිබටසෝල් සීනිවලින් පරිස්සම් වන ඔබට අමතක නොවන පෝෂණය.
කැලනි වයර් කිසිගින්නක් නෑ.
කිසිගින්නක් නෑ. කැලනි ෆයර් ෂීල්ඩ් වයර්.
Meanwhile, in Parliament, the expenditure heads of the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs and the Minister of Environment were debated during the 2025 Budget Committee stage debate today. Here are some of the views expressed by government and opposition members during the debate.
අලිමිනිස් ගැටුම 2023 ඔක්තෝබර් මාසයේ සිට 2024 12:31 දක්වා
In the human-elephant conflict from October 2023 to December 2024, 876 elephants have died and 339 humans have been killed. Nearly 7,000 properties have been damaged. From January 2024 to March 14, 2025, 93 elephants and 35 humans have died with 756 properties damaged. In the past 1.5 months, 59 elephants have died. We have not been able to reduce this. We need more staff. Increased recruitment is essential as the lack of wildlife officers is contributing to this damage. Regarding national parks, in 2024, Yala National Park alone generated a revenue of 2.7 billion rupees. Currently, the daily income surpasses 10 million rupees. Yala National Park consists of 6 blocks. In the first zone, which spans only 14,000 hectares, 550 jeeps with 951 drivers are registered for safari. If we open block 3, we can completely mitigate the traffic congestion that occurs daily.
සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම විසඳ ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා
මෙම අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ප්‍රගතිය සඳහා.
For the progress of the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, 13.7 billion rupees have been allocated. This marks an increase of 3.55 billion rupees compared to last year. We expect to collect 12.684 billion rupees through local funds and 1.041 billion rupees from foreign sources. For the Sri Lankan Day celebration, 300 million rupees have been allocated under budget proposals.
37 යටතේ රුපියල් මිලියන 300ක් වෙන් වෙනවා.
We need to create an economic stake for the communities, for the stakeholders, for the people of our country in promoting wildlife conservation, forest conservation, climate change. අද කවුරු මොන දේ කිව්වත් ඒක ලෝක සත්‍යයක්. ඒක ලෝක යථාර්ථයක්.
Regardless of what is being said, climate change is real. We have signed multiple international conventions, including the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, the Kyoto Protocol, the Paris Agreement, the Montreal Protocol, the Convention on Biological Diversity, the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, the Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, and the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. However, as a country, how far have we progressed in fulfilling these goals? Why can't we implement ecotourism programs that would generate revenue while conserving wildlife? I propose Project Elephant, Project Leopard and Project Whale. If India can generate revenue through its Tiger project while conserving the species, why can't we initiate similar projects for elephants, leopards and marine creatures like whales and dolphins? At a time when we are facing a foreign exchange crisis, such wildlife conservation projects can generate income while protecting our biodiversity.
අපිට පුළුවන්කම ලැබෙනවා සතා සිව්පාව රකින්නටත්.
පරිසර අමාත්‍යාංශයේ යටතට පැමිණිය යුතු සියලු ආයතන.
For the first time in history, we have brought all relevant institutions under the Ministry of Environment. We now oversee 12 institutions, including the Central Environment Authority, the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau, GSMB Technical Services Private Limited, the Sri Lanka Climate Fund Private Limited, the Marine Environment Protection Authority, the Department of Coast Conservation and Coastal Resource Management, the Wildlife Conservation Department, the Department of Forest Conservation, the Department of National Zoological Gardens, the State Timber Corporation, the Water Resources Board and the Department of National Botanical Gardens.
පළවෙනි වතාවට ඉතිහාසයේ පත් කරලා තියෙනවා. විටින් විට දූෂණයට ලක් වුණෝ.
It is my observation that the concept of civilization has been consistently violated and disrespected in the political arena. We have always emphasized the need to protect nationalism and build our nation on Sri Lankan nationalism. What is Sri Lankan nationalism? Is it a statement confined to Sinhala Buddhist identity, or is it rooted in our great civilization? From a Buddhist philosophical perspective, when we are born, we do not belong to any particular race or religion. We become who we are through our actions. That is the essence of our civilization.
Yesterday I attended a Iftar ceremony wherein which I heard a sermon by Sheikh. When I was listening to that speech of his which he delivered in Sinhala, it was like a Buddhist sermon.
We should not shy away from discussing our civilization. All other religions and ethnicities respect it. Only those who have misunderstood it due to political manipulation are opposing it.
Lex Fridman's interview with Prime Minister Modi. I mean, that brings so much energy about a nation. Why are we talking about a Sanskritika Minisas rainbow miniha?
There are no rainbow people here. A person of true culture is rooted in their unique culture and devoid of racism. This concept should not be confused with the dialectical materialism found in Marxism. Even materialism itself has become complicated and Marxism has been left behind.
Now, as Batalanda continues to dominate political discourse island-wide, here's what politicians had to say regarding the issue today.
A report was compiled at the cost of millions by Batalanda Commission during the tenure of Chandrika Bandaranaike. Since they are school friends, the report was compiled just for political reasons. We tabled the report that was left in a box. Then it was given to the Attorney General. Now it is his responsibility, not ours. According to the report, 1,960 UNP members were killed by the JVP. Families of members of the security forces were also killed. The government accepting this report with the approval of the cabinet means it is the admission that JVP has committed these crimes. A large number of people that suffered at Batalanda, even police officers, are ready to testify. This will be done according to the law. There are two types of criticism. Ranil's side claims that this is aimed at revenge, while others claim that Ranil would not be punished. The much needed legal action will be taken in future. Therefore, if evidence is presented, Ranil and other implicated will be punished. DB Vijayatunga did not arrest us when we came out. That's why we openly worked for the 1994 elections. I was the General Secretary of JVP back then. I think it was because both parties made peace that the JVP was able to continue in politics openly. We had evidence about murders in Eliyakanda and Batalanda. We didn't take those proofs to court because we had a chance to enter the democratic process.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya recently met with the Executive Director of the International Trade Centre to discuss digital transformation, small and medium-scale enterprise development and women's economic empowerment. The discussion between ITC Executive Director Pamela Rosemary Cook-Hamilton and Prime Minister Dr. Amarasuriya took place at the Parliament complex last week. The meeting emphasized the importance of promoting the economy through digitalization, strengthening market access and enhancing institutional frameworks. The integration of SMEs into the broader economy, increasing youth and women's participation and implementing investment-friendly policies to ensure long-term economic stability were also discussed. The meeting further recognized the need to strengthen partnerships with the International Trade Centre and the Export Development Board of Sri Lanka to boost organic product exports. Meanwhile, FitzAir, Sri Lanka's first privately owned international airline, is set to expand its regional connectivity with the introduction of direct flights between Colombo and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The flights to Kuala Lumpur will commence on the 4th of April this year with 4 weekly operations. The airline already operates flights to Malé, Dubai, Dhaka and Chennai through its main hub in Colombo. The Colombo Bourse began the week in negative territory today as a result of price losses in counters such as Melster Corp, National Development Bank and Sampath Bank. The broader all-share price index closed 1.33% lower at 16,646.30 points, while the S&P SL20 fell by 1.52% to close at 4,682.96 points. Market turnover crossed 1.2 billion rupees. The capital goods sector was the top contributor to market turnover, while the food, beverage and tobacco sector was the second highest contributor. Foreign investors closed as net buyers, purchasing shares worth 44 million rupees. Senior analyst of Capital Alliance, Sahajit Nazar, joins us now with a few thoughts to round off our Markets in View segment for the week.
The domestic stock market declined throughout the previous week. The S&P SL20 fell by 1.54% from 4,808 to 4,734 points, and the ASPI sank by 1.58% from 16,115 points to 15,860 points. In addition to the index performance, market turnover fell by 49.98% to 6.8 billion rupees, with the contributions mostly from the food, tobacco and beverage sectors as well as the banking sector. Furthermore, the government generated 165.5 billion rupees last week through treasury bill auctions, in which interest rates reduced on a 3-month bill by 1 basis points, while 6 and 12 months remain unchanged. Further, the government raised 210 billion rupees through treasury bond auctions.
And with that, here's a look at the rupee exchange rates for the day. And that's all for tonight on First at 9. Thank you for joining and have a great night.